do a tutorial on how to mount photo prints. This is a very simple method that I've used for a number of photography prints. Let's get started. For starters, we're going to need just a couple products. I like to use just a very basic mat board, pre-cut. It's a lot simpler if you don't have a mat board cutter. And then you will want a border, which will go around your picture to frame it very nicely. And then also I use this wonderful product called Artist Tack. These are actually glue spots wedged between these two pieces of paper, which create an adhesive that is water soluble and will mount your pictures quite well. So before we get started, let's act as if I didn't already have this stuff laid out. We're going to want to create a nice clean surface. Any specks of dust or grime are really going to affect your pictures while you're mounting them and could create some kind of unappealing obstructions on the image. So just go over this with a microfiber cloth, pick up any hairs, whatever there might be sitting on the table. And then you're also going to wash your hands. Not going to demonstrate that since my hands are already clean, but not a bad idea because you never know what's on there. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to lay this out really well and just sort of eyeball it as far as the size goes. We've already cut these, but normally they come in a larger size. So I tend to be kind of thrifty and don't like to waste a lot. So I've noticed that if you cut off the edges, you can get a few extra prints mounted per pack of Artist Tack. However, we're going to use the one that's already cut. So peel the paper back just a little bit and figure out which side the adhesive is on. This adhesive is what we want to be making direct contact with the mat board, and try to line it up pretty well. You want to really distribute those glue spots so that the picture doesn't peel back at any point later on. And then just really burnish it well. And now you can see it's pretty flat against the mat board, so we can remove it. I don't know if you can see from this angle, but there are a whole bunch of little glue spots all over that. This is a very clean approach to doing this, unlike using actual glue. So next we'll want to select our image. So we'll use this beautiful picture of burrowing owls hanging out in front of their burrow. And we want to really focus on this part. So make sure it's perfectly aligned, because once you completely let go of this thing, it's basically stuck there and it will damage your picture if it's not perfectly aligned. So we're a little off center. So I want to move it just a hair. And I think that's pretty close to being dead center. We do have about 1/4 of an inch on either side to work with. So there is a small margin for error. And now we want to line this up. And again, make sure you drop it pretty flat on where you want it. Because once this sticks to the backing board, there's no recovery and you just wasted some good product. So we want to avoid that. And now we have it nice and flat against. And now we want to actually use something to press it. Parchment paper is a good option. Now normally I'd have a full roll, but we're running a little low on supplies here. Thanks, COVID. So we're just going to use this last remaining little sheet of parchment paper. You don't want to make direct contact with your skin at any point on this because it could leave some oils behind, which might make some smudges. So always use a barrier. Parchment paper works very well, so does wax paper. And then just press it really firmly. So then after we've gotten the edges done, now we want to do the image itself. So important detail to remember with this is that we really want to go from the middle to the outside so that you don't have any air pockets. And just, again, try to be very meticulous in covering the entire image. And I like to even use a finger and just really work it into the edges just in case there are any pockets that didn't completely make contact. And now that we're done with that part of the process, your picture is all ready to go. And I would highly recommend having some acetate bags, which are just those really thin plastic ones. Self-sealing is ideal, that you can put this inside of so that now in transporting it, you won't get any specks of dust or dirt on your image that we just mounted. So thank you for tuning in. My name's Ian, and happy mounting.